You may think those workers aren't your employees. A regulator, a court, or a tax authority may disagree, and that mistake could cost your company millions. Your company could be creating employment liability without hiring a single employee. Companies around the world are embracing flexible workforce models to scale faster, but hidden within those arrangements is a legal risk many leaders don't discover until it's too late: co-employment. It is something labor authorities and tax regulators actively investigate, especially as remote work expands globally. Most companies only discover this risk when it's too late, during a labor dispute, a tax audit, or a compliance investigation. Today, we'll break down what co-employment means, where it shows up most often, and how to structure your workforce correctly. Co-employment occurs when two different organizations are considered to share employer responsibilities over the same worker. It typically happens when one company controls the day-to-day work, while another entity handles the payroll or contracts. From a regulatory perspective, the key concept is control and direction. Authorities look at who behaves like the boss. They evaluate who actually behaves like the employer, not just who is named on the paper contract. If both entities exert influence, liability can be shared, including responsibility for labor laws and payroll taxes. This covers Social Security contributions, mandatory benefits, and even protections against termination. In many jurisdictions, these obligations cannot be contractually waived. Substance always trumps the form of the agreement. There are three high-risk scenarios where co-employment frequently emerges in the world of global hiring. First, using a payroll provider without having a local legal entity. This is a common shortcut that leads to trouble. Payroll providers are administrative vendors. They are not the legal employers of your international staff. If your company defines the role and manages performance, regulators may determine you are the de facto employer. This can trigger permanent establishment risk, back taxes, and heavy penalties for unregistered employment. The second scenario is contractor misclassification. This is one of the most common and most enforced risks. A worker classified as a contractor might be an employee if they work exclusively for you and follow your internal schedules. Different countries apply different tests, such as economic dependence, subordination, or integration into the business. If misclassified, consequences include retroactive employment recognition and mandatory severance payments. You could be liable for years of Social Security contributions, plus significant fines and reputational damage. The third scenario involves improper employer of record structures. Even with an EOR, risk is not automatically gone. Risk arises if the EOR lacks proper legal infrastructure in the country or uses non-compliant contracts. For example, if the client company controls terminations directly without EOR involvement, the legal boundary blurs. A compliant EOR model requires a very clear separation between legal employment and operational management. When authorities investigate, they don't just look at the contract. They perform a deep fact-based analysis. They ask who directs and supervises the work, who sets compensation and approves raises for the staff, who defines the working hours and conditions, and who provides the tools and systems the worker uses. In many countries, this is the economic reality test. If you control these elements, you are the true employer. Enforcement is increasing globally, particularly across the European Union, the United States, and Latin America. Labor protections and tax enforcement are becoming far more sophisticated and digitized than ever before. Mitigating risk isn't about avoiding global hiring, it's about structuring it correctly from the start. Option 1 is establishing a local entity. This provides full legal clarity as you become the official employer. This is best for long-term strategies and large teams, but it involves higher costs and slower setup times. Option 2 is using a compliant employer of record. They legally employ the worker on your behalf in country. A proper EOR maintains local entities and manages payroll, taxes, and benefits, assuming the employer liability. However, mitigation requires discipline. You must avoid executing terminations without EOR coordination. Think of the EOR as the legal employer and your company as the operational manager within defined boundaries. Option 3 is hiring proper independent contractors. This is viable only if the relationship is genuinely independent. Ensure contractors serve multiple clients, avoid fixed schedules, and pay them per project, not like a salary. This model requires continuous monitoring, as classification risk can evolve over time as the relationship grows. The key takeaway: co-employment risk is caused by misalignment between your legal structure and operational reality. Co-employment risk is one of the most misunderstood aspects of global hiring, appearing when companies scale too fast. But with the right hiring model, entity, contractor, or EOR, you can expand globally while staying fully compliant. We highly recommend consulting with an international hiring partner or EOR expert to review your specific situation. In our next video, we'll explore how to calculate the real return on investment of global hiring. If you want to learn how to build teams without borders, subscribe and like to follow the Global Hiring Guide series. Please leave your comments below and let us know if you have any specific need for information. We will do our best to get it for you. See you in our next video.